Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today, as I try to usually do, you're not going to get the crypto narrative, you're going to get the truth, okay? We're going to talk facts and the truth instead of towing the line that all of the coin telegraphs and the coin desks and all of them are all told to tow. We've told you the truth, I believe, on this channel about Bitcoin as long as I've known the truth. And one of those truths is the following. You don't want to drop your gold for Bitcoin, okay? Now, I am not saying that you don't want to own some Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin will do well over time. But I'm also saying that gold is God's money, okay? Follow me here. Do you remember? Look, today, all right, you have all the recipe that anything that wants to imitate gold would be going up, okay? Bitcoin's down 7-point-something%. And remember, Grayscale ran the campaign Drop Gold, right? Well, I would say I would run a campaign Don't drop gold, or drop some of your Bitcoin for gold. Because remember, don't forget it, gold is God's money. Now watch, I want to show you a few things that are going on right now in the midst of all this, okay? First, Jim Rickards, who's one of the smarter people, connected guy in that he's a gold guy. But watch this. White House rants about severe economic sanctions on Russia. Back in the real world, Russia has 2,300 tons of gold and produces 10 million barrels of oil per day. Gains on gold, $10 billion so far. Gains on oil, $3 billion per month so far. It's all gain. Where's the pain? Okay, and then look at and look, this is something that I showed you back February 2022. Okay, sorry, wrong thing. When did I tweet this? March of 2021. Watch this video, okay? Because look, I've always felt like the XRP ledger is what's going to come out of all this crypto stuff. I felt like they were sending people into gold, into Bitcoin, and calling it store of value to get people away from physical gold while the central banks were all accumulating it for their time when they were going to be ready. Okay, I believe XRP is going to be a part of what solves the transportability problem for gold. I think a lot of things will be hung on the ledger. Okay, assets, debts, a lot of things like that. But gold, don't ever forget this, gold is always going to be God's money. There's nothing you can do about it. Watch this.
Now, it certainly does look like Bitcoin is going to survive this. But at the end of the day, when we get that inflation and they reset the current currency into the new currency, do you think they're going to reset it against Bitcoin or Tesla stock or even real estate? No. They reset it against gold money because it has the greatest functionality of any asset. It is used globally in every single area of the economy. And it's finite. And it's indestructible. So we can account for pretty much all of the gold that has ever been mined. And there's more than 4,800 cases of currency resets. And 100% of the time, they do it against gold.
With central bank stimulus weakening the dollar and gold being only about $100 short of its all-time high, a question has started to arise. Can gold replace the US dollar as the world's reserve currency? The dollar has enjoyed this status for decades, but since it detached itself from the gold standard in 1971, it's essentially consistently weakened on a macro level. Confidence in the U.S. government and the political system in the U.S. is one of the keys, and gold doesn't have that issue of a loss of confidence. But what it does have is a problem with transportability. That's why it's more likely that a currency backed in gold, or even a digital asset backed in physical gold, could potentially replace the dollar much more easily than the actual physical bar of gold could.
All right, get it? All right, now watch what this is. Gold. Gold's up 1%, but the main thing is that in this awful situation, gold's relatively stable. Okay, I wanted to show you this. This is from Mohammed El Arian this morning on CNBC.
What would you anticipate the next move being from the Fed in that case?
So this takes 50 basis points completely off the table. It takes the 8-9 hikes that a lot of people were talking about for this year off the table, and thankfully so, because you heard me say on your show that I didn't think the U.S. economy could accommodate and live with such slamming of the brakes of monetary policy. It means the Fed is going to have to be even more careful, and it's going to have to tolerate higher inflation. Nobody wanted to be here, but we were already far away from the world of first best in terms of monetary policy, and now we're going to get even further away. So we're going to have a very sort of unsatisfactory situation when it comes to inflation and when it comes to growth, unfortunately.
United States is in a box of our politicians' own making. They have spent years destroying this country monetarily, maybe intentionally is the only conclusion that I can come to. Meanwhile, now we've got Russia invades Ukraine, gold, palladium jump. We know Russia and all these central banks around the world have been accumulating gold for all these years. You have to wonder if they created Bitcoin as a distraction while they did so, okay? I've always been suspect of Bitcoin for this reason. I always have thought this was created by these same people so that they could funnel the inflation into this thing who nobody knows the creator, right? They could funnel it into that. Meanwhile, they work on the digital assets that are actually going to change the world's financial system, and they work on those while you see nothing but Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin on TV. That's what I've always felt like this was. Now, Kim.com, who has been critical of Bitcoin, this guy's told the truth of Bitcoin, of what it is and what it is not, and how slow it is and all of that. And he says, he doesn't say get into Bitcoin and gold. He says get into gold and crypto now, okay? I agree with him, okay? But the right crypto, the crypto that's going to change the world. And I think Bitcoin's a part of that. I think Bitcoin's going to do well. But my point in telling you all this is do not think that because of crypto, you don't need to be thinking about gold too. This is what I'm doing. Now, I told you about this guy the other day. Look, this is the CEO of this company called Glint. The reason I'm showing this, I literally woke up this morning. I woke up, my wife says to me, she says, do we need to watch the news? Because I'm kind of scared about this Ukraine thing. And I said, well, no, we don't actually need to watch the news because I have prepared us for this day with our crypto holdings, with our gold holdings, and also with what I'm about to show you, which I actually did this morning. I now have a Glint account, and I have a Glint MasterCard. It's a debit card. And what it allows me to do is it allows me to go and buy gold that's stored in a vault in Zurich, Switzerland. I buy gold, and I can put it on my Glint card. I can literally go to the grocery store. You know how you're going to the grocery store right now and everything's so expensive? Okay? This is my inflation hedge. Okay? Now, I don't want to go spend my gold, but if the way prices have been at the grocery store, I'm at least protecting my purchasing power versus yours. Okay? Listen to what this is the CEO of Glint. Listen to what he says.
So was that kind of the big picture for you? The gold was just a store of value and so many monetary systems are so uncertain right now?
That's right. You know, I think in 2008 I realized that a bank isn't a risk-free deposit of money, and I also realized that the money doesn't maintain its purchasing power over time. In fact, the US dollar in my lifetime has lost more than 80% of its purchasing power. And this is before this latest inflation surge that we're seeing now, which I think maybe we're not seeing the end of that yet.
No, it doesn't. We still have the same issues. You still have supply chain issues and labor shortages, all the things that are contributing.
And now we've got a war. And then also, you had what went on in Canada this last week, where they're taking control of people's bank accounts. Okay, so against that backdrop, you need to go check this out. I've fallen in love with this company because these guys are allowing me to do something I've never been able to do. If I go in a restaurant and by the way, they're not paying me to tell you this, by the way. Okay, I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this because I did it. I'd love to work out a deal with these guys where they were paying me to talk about this because I believe in it, and I purchased but I opened an account myself. Okay, so look, so what this is that you go and you can literally transfer money into your Glint account. Then when you can go to a restaurant, you can run your MasterCard, pay for your meal you can choose in their system, you can choose whether you want to spend your US dollars or spend your gold and then it tells you how many grams of gold you spent on that meal. Oh, and by the way, folks, I'm going to put a link to the Glint Pay in the very top of the description of this video, so you can click on the link if you want to go open an account. I'll put that there. They deserve it. Now, with inflation and everything, and the way how uncertain everything is around the world, that is a freaking product, folks. Now, let's move along. And here's the other thing. Look at this. Brian Brooks tweeted this out. The European Parliament wants to ban proof of work-based cryptocurrency like Bitcoin from the EU. This is no longer a hollow threat, but could happen if the Commission and Council of the EU don't kill this amendment. Brian Brooks tweets this out. He says, Bitcoin and crypto communities need to mobilize and take this as seriously as last year's infrastructure bill. And I'm glad to do that, folks. I don't want anybody to ban Bitcoin. I don't want anybody to ban Ethereum. That's not what I want here at all. But I did tell Brian Brooks this. First, Brian, the industry needs to get behind Ripple and John Deaton, who is fighting for 65,000 plus XRP holders. This industry can't be about Bitcoin and just about Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's how we got in this mess in the first place. Bitcoin and Ethereum got their free pass because of a lot of the same forces who he's pointing to need to now gather to rally around Bitcoin. Oh, they'll gather around that. Trust you me. But those same forces, if they're being honest, they need to rally around. Why not rally around Charles Hoskinson or Ripple or some of these other digital assets? It's not. This industry can't be just about Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is what they tried when they got the free passes for those back in 2018. So Brian, what I would say to you, and I want to make sure you understand, Brian's one of the good guys, okay? Brian has shown support for Ripple in this thing, okay? So I'm not saying that, I'm not attacking him. That's not what I'm getting at. But Brian needs to, at the same time, say, we need to be supporting Ripple and John Deaton, and also this Bitcoin in what the EU is trying to do. If we're truly all on the same team. Now, since Russia is invading Ukraine, I thought it would be a good day to remind you of this little video. I love this. So shout out to all you feeble Americans. Then we've got this. Baltic foreign ministers call to remove Russia's access to SWIFT payment system, provide Ukraine with weapons and ammunition, joint statement. All right. Then we had this. Now this gets interesting, folks. Library. Remember, Library is a company being sued by the SEC right now. Okay. While Ripple's being sued. They put this out yesterday. The SEC just said in a verbal argument, in our case, that they have not asserted that Bitcoin or Ethereum is not a security. They're saying the Hinman speech is his personal opinion. This 2018 speech from William Hinman's SEC Director of Corporate Finance deemed Bitcoin and Ethereum not securities, with the SEC asserting in verbal argument today that this is just a personal opinion. They are saying the speech means nothing. The judge also declined requests from the SEC to move back the trial date. Anyway, this is what we want to focus on right here. So remember, folks, 1 week ago in the Ripple case, and John Deaton, first let's point this out. John Deaton comes in and he says, this is a violation of Title V. He collected $15 million from Simpson Thacher, a member of the Ethereum Alliance. By giving that speech, he benefited his law firm and its clients. He then accepted employment with the people that helped write the speech. So if it was his personal opinion, he's got a legal problem, a Title V problem. Now, remember, folks, this is what we're dealing with this SEC. Eleanor Terrett retweeted it, and she said, the discrepancy here is startling. And John Deaton says, what did I say about the SEC attorneys being transactional? Each argument is viewed in a vacuum, and it argues whatever it thinks will help it, no matter how inconsistent with previous statement or argument. I've been saying this from the time the SEC responded to my writ. And if you look at this, remember, this was just last week that I tweeted this, folks. SEC's official position, then it was Hinman's personal opinion, and now, as of last week, they said it was that his speech was the opinion of the Division of Corporate Finance. And I said, can we all agree that the SEC has arrived at the dog ate my homework moment? What an embarrassment to this country. Well, now, folks, last week they said it was the opinion of the Division of Corporate Finance. Now they've gone back to it being Hinman's personal opinion in the library case. This is what you call liars, folks. These people are liars. This is nothing but purity lying to a judge. This is lying. There's no other word for it. We have a major U.S. government agency that is bold-faced lying to a judge. Lying. There's no other word for this. You can give it all the legalese terms you want. This is bold-faced lies. That's a thumbnail. This is bold-faced lies. Bold-faced lies. This is the kind of stuff that I would give my 9-year-old a spanking for. I would give my 16-year-old a spanking for telling these kind of lies. Maybe some of these SEC guys missed their spankings when they were growing up. I mean, this is unbelievable. I'm having to write bold-faced lies because that's what it is. Okay, moving along. While Gary Gensler calls crypto the Wild West, it's the SEC that's acting lawless. 1 minute, tell a judge that it's a personal opinion. The next, tell a judge it's the opinion of the division of the SEC. Then change it again. Gary Gensler needs to turn in his badge. Now, remember this? Yesterday, we can't play this enough. This is John Deaton when he was on with me yesterday. Let this sink in, folks.
When you sue the executives is when you believe they've committed fraud. Yeah. Why would you file it against them when you know you can't? If you know you can't win, then maybe you're not trying to win. Maybe the filing of the lawsuit itself was the goal. Maybe that was the end. Maybe that was everything, right? File the case against them. Think about this. Joseph Grunfest, who is very, very loyal to the SEC, he believes in it as an institution. He said, in the history of the SEC, there had never been an exodus of so many leaders in the SEC leaving after filing such a significant lawsuit. He called it a mass exodus. Think about it. Clayton left. Hinman left. Mark Berger, the director of enforcement, who helped write this complaint, left. The director of trading and markets left. All of these people left. As they're walking out the door, they slapped the most significant SEC enforcement action in modern history because they didn't have to prove it. So if they don't have to prove it, are they willing to file a ridiculous lawsuit that can't be proven? Sure. Wow. If the lawsuit is the weapon.
Well, John, I mean, the thing for me when I hear this is that tells me that this is just a matter of time at this point. If it's a matter of time, that makes me very bullish on Ripple, on my Ripple equity and my XRP. Yes, it does. Now, in this article right here, this Ripple's lawsuit made Reuters. In this article right here, Stuart Alderati confirms what John Deaton was saying in my interview yesterday. Is he was saying that they had to prove, the SEC would have to prove that Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson knew it was a security, and they recklessly ignored that fact and went and sold it anyway. Well, they make the same point right here. If you go down, if I can find the quotes here, right here, it says the fact that, this is from Stuart Alderati, the fact that you would have a government agency trying to take these memos, use them as a sword or as a bludgeon, rather than applauding a company that was doing the right thing, as general counsel of the company, but also just as a lawyer who's been practicing for 35 years, I find that incredibly offensive. The SEC declined to comment on the unsealed memos and on Alderati's criticism. Perkins Coie partner Dax Hansen, who signed both 2012 memos to Ripple, did not immediately respond to my query. Ripple co-founder and chair Chris Larson is also a defendant in the SEC case. His lawyer, Martin, all these law firms, said the unsealing of the Perkins Coie memos shows the SEC's distorted characterization of the advice Ripple received. Larson is accused of recklessly disregarding Ripple's allegedly illegal sale of XRP. The very fact of the Perkins Coie memos, Flumenbaum told me, refutes that accusation. Getting a legal opinion is the opposite of reckless conduct, Larson's lawyer said. So they dropped the freaking lawsuit as a weapon. Let's give you a little reminder. This is ProCoinNews.com, who is the official sponsor of the Digital Asset Investor Hunting and Fishing Club. They always have, it's at ProCoinNews.com, and they keep this reminder of these people and what they've done to this country. American crypto innovation under siege, SEC versus Ripple, day 430, 10 hours, 29 minutes, and 53 seconds. There you go. And they also have the anti-crypto web of corruption, and where you can help vote out all the Congress people that are against crypto. All right. And then you got this happen yesterday. Breaking. Judge Annalisa Torres responded quickly to the SEC's petition to submit a sir reply using one word: denied. You have to wonder if this judge is getting fed up with these people. Then Stefan Huber, this spoiler alert is already living history. It doesn't end well for the captain, folks. We were always right from the very beginning. We sat in front row of the rehearsal and already knew back then how the finale of the premiere will end. He's retweeting that Stuart Alderati tweet from a while back, where he's reading Moby Dick. Breaking news: United States has accused China and Russia of working together to create a new, profoundly illiberal world order. What is an illiberal world order? I'm not sure what that means. Now, this is where things get interesting, folks. This guy says, what if Elon Musk, Tesla, has been baiting the SEC for years, building their case on the level or corruption, and now they have enough evidence to go public with it all? Grab your popcorn, folks. Elon Musk replies and he says, building a case is exactly what I've been doing. This guy says, starting a fight with the SEC is not a great look. I didn't start the fight, but I will finish it. Oh, folks. And then Stefan Huber lays it down exactly correctly, folks. It's not me, but you being a conspiracy theorist, believing that the timing of Elon Musk calling the SEC out for corruption is a coincidence. Remember, first he was calling out A16Z, then Ethereum and Web3. Now he's calling out the SEC. Everything we did months earlier, they see us. That right there about sums it up. They see us, folks. They've been watching what we've been talking about. All of you out there, you had the guts you knew something wasn't right in your gut with all of this, the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. You stood up. You went out and you found the video, you pieced together the timeline, you found the documents, and you once you didn't take much looking before you know. When you got the truth, I tell my kids this all the time, as long as you have the truth on your side, folks, I tell my kids, if you tell the truth, your daddy will defend you to the death. But if I catch you lying to me or lying to someone else, I will not defend you, and I will make sure you have a teachable moment. Well, I believe some of these spoiled, rotten government bureaucrats and politicians have been getting away with lying for far too long, and I believe that we're looking at a day of reckoning for some of these people, because having us come after you and call out the lies is one thing. Having Elon Musk and his attorneys is a whole different ball of wax. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that lies do not stand the test of time. Unfortunately for Gary